Hey guys, Ranger here, and welcome back to another video. And this is a reaction review to a brand new Mickey cartoon that came out earlier this month in January. And someone told me that I had actually a few different people tell me that this cartoon was out, which is Feed the Birds. Already, just from the title, I'm having Mary Poppins flashbacks. With the name Feed the Birds, I'm having Mary Poppins flashbacks. I'm not sure if this is based on that, uh, if this is based on that, or what. So, without further ado, let's check it out and see what this is. All I know is this is a Mickey cartoon, and I love this title card here. Very, very nice. Start video on 3, 2, 1, click.
Feed the birds, breadcrumbs, breadcrumbs, breadcrumbs from a bag.
That little bird looks familiar. I keep thinking I've seen him in another Disney short.
Oh, wait, Toppins, you didn't get any, did you? Here you go.
Hey Mick, you ever heard of a bird feeder?
Toppins! Hey, that wasn't very nice.
You know what you do then? That face.
Toppins, you're wasting away.
Oh my gosh.
Aha! Idea!
Oh.
Your own personal bird!
Wow.
A variety of artisan breadcrumbs, natural honey drip, citrus-infused water, and a frozen yogurt bar. Aw, you're welcome.
Mick.
Tuppence, what happened? Hey, beat it, you dirty furries! Oh, here you go, pal.
Take it inside.
Phew, that was a close one. Come on, let's get some food in you. Look up here, look up here!
Are you serious? What? Oh. Donald?
I made that bird feeder just for you. We can't let them win. We won't let them win.
Walt!
Hey there, you all
And
get
Jafar?
ready? Come on down to Birdland. Soak your feathers in our hot tub. Enjoy the chocolate fountain. Gorge on fresh baked bread. Watch today's hottest action movies. Oh, boy!
Was that supposed to be Fast and Furious?
Hello, come to this happy place. Welcome. Birdland is your
Oh my
land.
gosh. That's the intro to the Disney... That's the intro to
Tuppence?
Walt... To Disneyland, sorry. That's on the plaque.
Teach those bullies. Though your words are simple and few, Tuppence, Tuppence, I love you.
Oh my gosh. So, the title, and as well as the song that Mickey was singing, was basically from Mary Poppins. A lot of really great references here. Actually, this is kind of makes me think about, like, some of the older, like, one of the older mini cartoons from the 1930s or 40s. Whenever Minnie had that little canary Frankie. And I was kind of thinking maybe, Mickey could just let Minnie take care of this little bird. because I'm pretty sure Minnie would be totally fine with it. Um, this is very interesting. It's not often that you see a cartoon with the simplistic story of Mickey simply trying to feed birds. It's not often that you see something like that. So this is definitely different, but it's very, very unique, and I really do like the simplistic nature of it. But this little bird, I'm pretty sure I've seen this little bird somewhere before. He looks very, very familiar. And of course, you got this little bitty tiny bird, and just wanted to get something to eat. And these other birds, a bunch of larger birds, almost like pigeons, are hogging all the food to themselves. They're selfish, and they don't want to share. And so Mickey tries everything within his power to try to help this little bird to get some food. But these other birds are like rebelling against Mick and this other bird, and they're just like taking over completely. And so, I mean, at that point, it would have been tempted for me to take like a badminton racket to some of these birds. Um, but Mick did the nicer thing. He did the nicer thing. Give them a kind of a bit of a place of their own, which was inside of a rocket ship, which he blasted off. So, and I just realized that yell. I've heard that yell somewhere before too. But yeah, to be completely honest, I would have to say what Mickey did to those birds and that little bird. What Mickey and this little bird did to those other birds were just because they were complete bullies. Like they were complete bullies, hogging everything. They didn't want to give this little bird any food whatsoever. They wanted to hog everything. And in my personal opinion, whenever you encounter bullies like that, I mean these guys, these stupid birds, they were laughing at Mickey, like pretty much saying, "You can't do anything to us. You can't do anything." Mickey and this little bird proved they could. And yeah, pardon me, these birds got their just desserts for it. They got their comeuppance for it. And it was very satisfying to see them get blasted off into space. Um, and you know what? They deserved it. They honestly deserved it. To me, they did anyway. Going over a few of the different things with this particular cartoon here, we actually get a very nice shot of Mickey's backyard here. Uh, and we see a nice little pond and a nice little stone path. We actually see that there's some flowers in Mickey's yard. And I don't know, I just kind of can't help but think that Minnie's probably the one that planted those flowers because I just can't really fathom. I mean, I could be wrong. I don't recall seeing it in a comic. I just can't really. I imagine more that Minnie has more of a green thumb than Mickey does, and that Minnie is more into flowers than Mickey is. So I just kind of can't help but think that Minnie's probably the one that planted these flowers here. Um, that's just my personal thought. We do see a dart thing on the side of Mickey's house, which is more typical Mickey. Like a dartboard on the side of Mickey's house, uh, planted kind of haphazardly over on the side of the house. Let's just put holes in the side of the house. And one cool thing I have to question, Mickey was using just a typical bag to feed birds. I'm just kind of curious as to why Mickey didn't have a bird feeder before this. I don't know. But again, I keep thinking I've seen this little bird before somewhere. Um, in like another older Mickey cartoon or something. I could be wrong. But it's also interesting to see Mickey actually caring for this little bitty bird and wanting to take care of it. It's very cute. And it's not often something we see, but again, it's very, very cute to actually see it. Then, like I said, that moment whenever Mickey is pretty much telling these birds that they're bullies, and they're just looking at him like a big, like, pretty much screw you, we do what we want. Like, they just scoff at him. And so, whenever bullies do that, that's whenever you really want to deck them one. And, oh my gosh, the faces that Mickey made in this cartoon. Oh my gosh. Just, yeah. It's interesting that whenever Mickey has that idea moment, how his eyes change from being like ovals to complete circles, or like Pac-Man. Um, Very, very interesting on that. And it's very interesting that honestly, whenever Mickey makes this birdhouse for this little bitty bird, I mean, this is really nice. I mean, this honestly is probably, this is, I mean, I know it's a cartoon, but this is freaking nice. This is nicer than most bird feeders that you will see in stores. And how Mickey managed to put all that detail into this little bitty thing, I don't know, but he did. I mean, he done a great job with this thing. Um, Putting so much detail into this little bitty birdhouse, including the working lights. But again, it's a cartoon. But it's very, very cute and sweet that Mickey was doing that for that little bitty bird. Um, and of course, I had a feeling that whenever Mickey would walk away, that something would happen. And of course, you got these idiotic birds right here that ended up kicking this little bitty bird out and basically turned him into a dart. Mickey manages to get the birds to go away, of course, but typical birds, they dive bomb. And honestly, I thought whenever Mickey got inside the house, I thought, okay, everything's gonna be fine. Just take it inside, it's fine. No, these birds actually managed to. These birds were doing everything within their power here to get inside this house, taking crowbars to the door, trying to pull the door apart, clawing at the door, and even trying to use a mallet to open the door. Uh, and then they managed to get inside through the fireplace. Um, it would have been hilarious, honestly, a gimmick, if Mickey knew that they were coming through the fireplace, if he could have lit the fireplace, and then suddenly, like cooked chickens had have started falling out of the fireplace. That actually would have been comical. And honestly, like I said, by this point, you could tell these birds had developed to the point they weren't just birds. Like these guys were maniacal. I mean, just look at the lower bird here over on the lower left corner. I mean, these birds are beginning to go insane, and so these birds were taking over complete. I mean, had taken over completely. And why the heck was Donald there? I mean, I know he's a fowl too, but why was Donald there? Having a party in Mickey's house. What? I just, yeah, I don't get it. But at this point, I really like how that Mickey was able to, how that Mickey was like, okay. Now there's a few things right here to mention. Now we got some other really interesting things here. First off, we got this scene from this old, uh, okay, it took me a while to, actually find it. Okay, now then, as I was trying to say, we get this interesting shot from this old cartoon, Mars and Beyond. We see the original cartoon here, Mars and Beyond, which came out in uh, December 4th, 1957. We see that, which is very, very interesting. I mean, a very, very, very interesting callback to one of Disney's older cartoons. Very, very nice. And we also see another cartoon, um, another Disney cartoon, and there's this other older Disney cartoon here. I don't remember the name of it, but I remember seeing this cartoon of these robots here, um, using these lasers and chasing after this farmer. I remember this scene here. It was from another older Disney cartoon. I don't remember which one. And then we have this wonderful cameo of Walt Disney himself from probably one of the old Walt Disney Presents television series or television specials. And oh my gosh, like absolutely love how Disney is doing these references and callbacks, and they're actually featuring these images of Walt from time to time in this, because Walt started all of this, and so I'm very, very happy that they're doing that they're doing that. It's a really great homage and tribute to him, and I'm very happy that they're doing it. And then we see Jafar from Disney's Aladdin right here, which is also cool to see that. And honestly, I wish. I mean, honestly, they're flipping through the channels on this TV, which I just noticed this TV is like an LCD TV. This is a flat screen TV, as you can tell from like the look of the TV, the base and everything. Very, very nice. But honestly, I wish that there was more Disney stuff on TV like this right now. You flip through the channels and see one of the older Disney cartoons from the 1950s, see another one from the 40s, and then yeah, Walt Disney Presents on a channel, and then like Aladdin. But more often than not, I'm flipping through the channels today. I mean, there are a couple of Disney. I mean, there are like two or three. I think two or three Disney channels themselves, but on the Disney Channel itself, it's mostly just the live action programs. They don't hardly show any of these movies. Um, Now Pocahontas was on today on I think it was Freeform or Freeform. I think it was. Um, but it's not off. I mean, like you never really see this much entertainment on TV at one go. It's mostly just pay programming, infomercials and things like that. And then we actually get this really cute picture of Mickey. And whenever Mickey makes a mention about watch today's hottest action films, that I'm just going to assume is supposed to be Vin Diesel. I'm just assuming that's supposed to be Vin Diesel, and that looks like a 70. I love the design for this car. I do. I love the design for this car. This old muscle car. And judging by the look of it, it looks like a 70, 71 Plymouth Cuda. Judging by the front and the little bumperettes on the front and the single headlights, it could be a Cuda based off of a Cuda, or like a 70, 71 Plymouth Cuda, or a 70 Dodge Challenger, one or the other. I'm going to go with more or less a Cuda, and now I want to make a Cuda in that color. Now I want to make a model kit of a Cuda in that color. But this is like a reference. This is like a reference to Fast and Furious, I'm guessing, because there's so many Fast and Furious films. Moment whenever Mickey introduces everything here, and he says, whenever Mickey says, "To all who come to this happy place, welcome. Birdland is your land." That is a plaque. I mean, what Mickey said here is a plaque, and this was from Walt. Uh, to all who come to this happy place, welcome. Disneyland is your land. And this, oh my gosh, the reference there, the callback. Mickey said the beginning lines of that old plaque that I'm pretty sure is in Disneyland, and I keep thinking that it's supposed to be at the at the statue of Mickey and Walt in Main Street. I could be wrong. I've never been to Disneyland, but I keep thinking, and it may also be in Disney World as well. But it just yeah, I know that opening right there. To all who come to this happy place, welcome. And to hear Mickey read that, it's mind blowing, because again, another great tribute to Walt himself, or I mean, another really wonderful tribute to Walt. And again, it's just moments like that. It makes you feel. You can't help but feel emotional. You can't help but just smile, not from the laughter, but just a warm, heartfelt smile, because they're doing all these references to Walt, to the man that started all. I mean, if it wasn't for Walt, these cartoons here wouldn't exist. And so it's just really cool to be able to hear that. And then, of course, the birds find out they've been had. They find out everything is a sham, which they honestly deserved. And so Mickey and this little bird is like, all right, we're just going to blast you guys into space. And some of these birds had looks of fear and shock. Others had look of anger, which is typical of your typical bullies. Whenever they get their comeuppance, they're like, I don't deserve this. Screw you guys. You do deserve it. And then the whole rocket just, I mean, the whole place just blasts out into space while Mickey and this little bird, Tuppence, are just looking on with satisfaction. I would be too. I would be too, because to me, I mean, anytime that I see somebody getting bullied, this is what I want to do to bullies in general. Just blast them off into space. And so, yeah, thank you, Disney, because you have mirrored my internal thoughts. So Mickey was able to fix the birdhouse back and leave it inside the house, and Mickey was able to actually uh, pretty much made the bird like an indoor pet. I'm curious, like, will there be continuity and we will see this little bird in future cartoons? Or is this pretty much just going to be a sort of a one-off thing, where we may never see the bird in another cartoon? I'm pretty much I'm just going to say that you pretty much like with anything else in a cartoon, it will only be visible whenever it serves the plot. So we probably won't see I mean, we may see a cameo from this little bird Tuppence in another cartoon, but except for a little brief cameo, I don't really think he's going to, unless he plays a big part in the story or a moderate role. I don't think we're really going to see him anymore in very many more cartoons. Um, but again, or then again, Mickey may end up deciding to give this little bird to Minnie as a pet. I don't know. Um, but again, it's interesting that the bird's name is Tuppence, which is Tuppence, used in Mary Poppins. So again, there was some really good references here to Mary Poppins as well. And so again, this is really, really cute. This was a really, really sweet cartoon, and also very satisfying on the note again um, that we get to see these evil birds, the birds, that horror film. We get to see the birds get their get their just desserts here. Like Mickey and this little bird got revenge, and honestly, these birds deserved it. I mean, no way around it. They deserved it, plain and simple. Because they were being bullies, they were hogging all the food, they were willing to let this little bitty bird starve, and even kick Mickey out of his own house, pardon me, just for selfishness. Yeah! Bullies deserve to be blasted off into space. They deserve it. But again, this was a really cute cartoon. And again, it's very interesting. It's very different because, again, we don't often see something of that nature, of a simplistic story of Mickey just simply trying to feed birds. Uh, uh, but this does play, of course, out in your typical cartoonish fashion because it's not as simple as feeding a bird. Zany, crazy, cartoonish antics take place. And so, that it's not going to be boring because there's going to be something crazy that is going to happen. And so, yeah, this was definitely within the typical formula. And again, it was a cute cartoon. It was a sweet cartoon. And again, it's interesting because we don't often see that particular side of Mickey where he's actually like really uh where he's is uh where he's being really sweet to a small creature like that. And I have this kind of a mental image of like Minnie happens to like walk in and she sees Mickey with this little bitty bird, and Minnie just kind of gushes and is like, "Oh," and Mickey like blushes and begins to explain about what happened. Um, but again, uh, this is a really cute cartoon. It's sweet and yeah, so very very cute. So again, Disney, everybody that did this cartoon, thank you all so much. Thank you all so much for these cartoons in general, and also thank you to everybody. Thank you to everyone that put these little references in here to those old space cartoons, to Walt, to Aladdin with Jafar, the references to Mary Poppins. This is just pure genius, and so thank you to everybody for that genius, for just the cartoons, for just everything that you're doing with them. Thank you all so much. It's wonderful. It's lovely to see these cartoons, to be able to see the references to Disney's past. And I'm really glad that these cartoons aren't like forsaking, any of that and just like pretending it never happened. No, I mean, we've seen other references, I mean, many references to Disney's past in these cartoons, and it's so wonderful to see them embracing that history in these cartoons and saying, this is our history. This is part of us. And so I'm really happy that they're doing that. And so again, to everybody, thank you so much. Thank you to everybody that worked on this cartoon. Disney, thank you also. Disney, thank you guys so much. This is, again, lovely cartoons and looking forward to more. I mean, I really adore these cartoons. And so to everybody, thank you all so much. And also to everybody that was telling me that this cartoon was out. Thank you all again for telling me, and thank you guys again for joining me. Hope you enjoyed. And again, anything you want to add, please feel free to do so in the comments below. And thank you guys again for joining me, and I'll see you guys in the next video that I do. Take care.